All right, welcome to the stream. I am running a tiny bit behind. I got up pretty sort of late. I got up at like 7:30. So just gotta get some things that I looked at last time, or that I worked on last time, but I didn't show. So I wanted to look at the driver ups and downs because I had Ryan Wood on the thumbnail, but then I didn't talk about Ryan Wood. So the main point is that we say, oh, he just had mechanical issues. He would have been further up in the championship, but he also had bad starts and other issues. So I'm gonna go through those. Is this him? I think this is him. Yeah, especially at Sydney Motorsport Park. And then no issues in that one where he moved up spots, but the races where he dropped spots, it's usually because he did something wrong. We had a bad start at Tasmania, but he started 19th in a car that probably shouldn't have come 16th. Crossed over in front of Aaron Cameron and spun off. Bad start, big battle with Waters costing time and the suspension failure. Yeah, passed Anton to third, got undercut, pit early in the second stop, and then saving fuel. A bad start at QR. Punted Brown, got 15 seconds. Mechanic failure at Bathurst. And the fuel leak. And they got held up by Brown. So some of that though, like maybe that was on purpose. So he did a pretty good job that race. But yeah. And Fred Wilnart, Svampini got 15 seconds, and then suspension issue. So he's not great at his starts. Or maybe we have a look at it. How many times was he good at his starts? How many times was he fine with his starts? I just need to bring up pop out the chat in case someone drops in. And then put this here, and then put. Oh, all right. Let's not lag. All right. So that was Ryan Wood. So even if they fixed all the mechanical issues, he still made mistakes, dropped positions. Probably could have had a better year. So we got 18 bad races, but how many of them were because he did something wrong? Spun Feeney. It's driving related, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to say 7 because I don't know. 7, 8, 9. Well, hang on. Not sure. I don't actually know what happened at Albert Park. 9, 10, and 11. He just didn't seem to have the race pace at Sydney Motorsport Park. So yeah, there's 10 bad races that were driver related and 8 that were mechanical related. So if he could fix all 10 of those driving issues, then he would have been further up in the championship and probably not got knocked out. Yeah, that's what I got on Ryan Wood. Then we're looking at Simon Wheels. Did I actually make a thing? I think I was just looking at his information. What did I do? Where was it? Okay, I don't have his information. But I wanted to talk about Simon Wills because I was looking at Jason Richards. Actually, I can show Jason Richards' information and then show, because he's just got that 1 year, the 2003 that they were teammates. But following Jason Richards' career, you see how good Simon Wills was in that 1 year. And then you're watching 2004, 2005, and Simon Wills is still qualifying and racing up the front. Not regularly, but often enough to go, hey, Simon Wills is pretty good. But then you look at Simon Wills' career, where the story is he, in 2001, he was co-driver to John Bowe at Bathurst and was apparently faster than John Bowe. And so John Bowe got sacked, and then Wills replaced him for the rest of the year. Didn't do amazingly well the rest of the year, but he got kept on for 2002 and then didn't really improve that much, and then got sacked after a few races, and then came back later and won the Queensland 500 in 2002, and then him and his dad set up their own team, Team Dynamic, and this is the first year here we've got on the screen. Oh, hang on. I'm not showing anything. I need to show stuff. I'll show entire screen. Yep. And here we're showing the first year of Team Dynamic. So you see the entire time Simon was out qualifying JR. But JR's career is like, it took him a while to get really good. Took him to 2004, he started to get a few. But you got to remember that when he was up against Jamie Whincup, it was pretty good. And then he started to get really good in 06. So it took him several years to really perfect his craft. 07 and 08, I think I've got that information on Greg Murphy's stuff. But yeah, Simon Wills was one of those what if kind of guys. Like, I was like, was Simon Wills that good that he deserved to be signed by a different team and then go on to, like, was he one of those guys that should have been a professional driver rather than driving for his own team? Because he was involved in running a team, and that probably cost him being able to be a professional driver. So yeah, I think that was unfortunate. He came back in 2007 to replace Brad Jones after Brad decided to pull the pin on his career after Pukekohe, and drove the rest of the year. I think it was maybe 50-50 between Andrew Jones and Simon Wills in qualifying. So when you think, oh, Andrew Jones wasn't that good, well, he wasn't too bad, really. We got 06. Well, JR out-qualified Jones massively. But he picked up spots pretty regularly. Maybe they had a good car, though. Like, you've got Jason Richards getting great results in that car, qualifying really well, racing up to great positions, and getting several top 10s. The only thing that cost JR was first lap issues. Now this isn't progressive because they had the reverse grid races. So that's interesting. There was one race. Oh yeah, he was Pukekohe. Andrew Jones on the front row, dropped the 12th. Did get his way up to 7th, so. But I think that was his only top 10, so. And it wouldn't have been very many points because reverse grid races didn't get many points. Because it looked after drivers who didn't qualify well. And so that's not, it's a qualifying championship. If you qualify, basically qualifying sets the grid. So, but as it was an argument we had a few weeks ago, that is it okay for it to be a qualifying championship? Because some people say that, Scott Pius thing that he always says is, you have them start, set the grid in the order of the fastest car and wonder why there's no passing, except there is passing. That I just disagree with his statement on that. But you don't really want it to be random. You want to be able to see, because they've got qualifying setups and race setups. So you're not qualifying setup is to do one lap. Race setups is to do the stints or the whole race, I guess, depending on how you set your car up. And that depends on what you think the car is going to do based on the way it behaved in practice and qualifying. So, but yeah, so Simon Wills seemed to be really good in 03 to 05 and just had a lot of issues, but just smashed JR. And then we get top 10s, and he qualified in the top 10 a couple of times. 4 times there. And just crashes, mechanical failures, pretty much plagued with issues, that team. But, I mean, JR several times crash, dropped down the order there, dropped down the order, another drop down the order. He only got one top 10, that was the one 5th place at Oran Park. And it's interesting that 2003 was the race that 2003 Sandown 500 was the one that put him on the map somehow, because he wasn't better than Simon Wills. So it's a weird one, because he wasn't beating Simon Wills and he wasn't out qualifying him. But later on, so it's interesting they got picked up by Tasman, because maybe they couldn't have McConville because he went to Gary Rogers, and you just wonder how many options they had. I guess they wanted somebody who was already in the category, who was available and interested. And, they're driving the Lansvale car, and I think the Lansvale car wasn't all that great. So I might have to check that. I've got a PowerPoint presentation about Cameron McConville. I'll get rid of that. I don't know if I have a lot of information popping up, so we'll see. Yeah, obviously 1999 with John Faulkner and Holden Racing Team, got podiums at Queensland and Bathurst. Craig Lowndes got picked up by Rod Nash, which I have no photos of. I think it was a green car, I'm not sure though. Might have been the Auto Pro car. I think that was might have been his car. And then you've got the Lansvale car. Shootout appearance at Oran Park. It was pretty good. So McConville's doing that. And here in 2003, all right, they had a pretty good car. Comes 18th. They signed Jason Richards. He comes 18th. You got 3 8ths were his best result. We can have a look at JR. Got 8th there, 7th, 8th, and another 8th, and a 5th. So that's pretty good. JR actually did a better job, but you never know. What did they do to the car for the 2004? Not sure. They might have done a few other things, because obviously Lansvale is different from Tasman. Lansvale was none of the guys drove. Their names: Trevor Ashby and I can't remember. So yeah, a couple of crash repair guys going racing, and so they signed Cameron McConville because they were getting ready to retire. They've been racing since I think that since the 90s full time, but they've been racing since the 80s on occasion. And so I guess they were making enough money to do whatever they wanted to do. And so, when Tasman bought them out, I guess there was more money to develop a car. And so they had a pretty good car for 2004, it seems. But yeah, some mechanical issues, but JR was was pretty good. I think he just needed to really refine his qualifying because there were several times where he wasn't qualifying well, but maybe that was because of issues with the team instead. Darwin's a shocker. Went nowhere there. Otherwise, when they qualified down the order, they moved up, apart from Tassie here. Alright, so yeah, and then they put Whincup in the other car. Whincup was not as good as JR at qualifying, but he did end up beating him in the championship, I think, because less DNFs. I think Whincup only had just steering failure, crash, engine failure, whereas you got a crash, and you got another crash, an engine failure, and a crash, and another crash. So that's why JR didn't beat Whincup in the championship. But Whincup got picked. It was interesting. But Whincup was also better earlier, so leading him in the championship. So even if JR out-qualified him, he'd still wouldn't always beat him in round points. And then 2006 JR. So many times you watch the races, he'll qualify great and he'll drop a spot, and you go, "Oh my god, why?" It's frustrating because he should have been 2006 Adelaide, that first race. He should have been further up, and he clearly had a really fast car. But then he got engine failure. Then he started last, and he moved to 10th. Yeah, it's just rough. And then you got 2009 and 10 with Cameron McConville and then Jason Bright, and Brighty was better. It's 2010, so the Crow driver's crashing out. And this only goes to Tasmania because I'm not going to bother looking at everybody else outscoring him in the championship. But I've written the final championship points, but he was 13th ahead of Bright before Forster missed the last 2 rounds due to cancer. So he's doing a pretty good job. Not always. It looks like Brighty started out qualifying a lot more from Hamilton onwards, especially from Winton onwards. And you wonder if maybe that was because of cancer, or depends how he was feeling, how things progressed. Maybe there's information on that. But usually, I think with cancer, you notice something's not right, and then you get it checked, and then you find out what you have to do. So maybe that was pretty late on in the year, or maybe that was something that was progressing during the year, and he wants to keep racing. He didn't want to stop, which would make sense. But yeah, I don't really know the story. But you got Carl Reindler here, constant mechanical issues. The number of, I don't know how many DNFs were caused by him crashing, but there's quite a few. I think one of them was a crash at Gold Coast. But like header failure, clutch failure, engine failure, and steering failure. You got, I think McConville was beating him in the championship until he started crashing. Withdrew I think that because he had a crash in qualifying, I guess, McConville, and so that's why he withdrew. And then he decided he didn't want to race anymore because he was sick of crashing. It's just sort of funny. All right, that's what I want to show for that. And we've got more McConville, so Gary Rogers. I've got photos in of the Rick Kelly and McConville in 04 arguing after McConville got the win at Winton. And 2004 was an interesting season because they had one race, so many like single race rounds, and that was interesting. Like, what else happened in that round? Was it just like a 2-day round? I mean, we can check that. 2004. It might not have been. Might have been a 3-day round or something. I don't know if there's much Konica series stuff though. Hang on, so calendar, wherever it might be. Here we go. So you got Winton. It's a 3-day round. So they must have had lots of practice. There's not really any information on that. But yeah. So was it Winton? Oh, Winton's sort of late in the season. McConville, I think I might have talked about him before, but his start of the year, he struggled. And then once he got it sorted, he started racking up a lot of points. I think from, was it Perth onwards? He gets to Perth and then he starts qualifying better. Like he was struggling so badly. And he replaced Whincup. And he's come in, he started getting more top 10s and he's regularly in the mix. Having a really good run. And then he went to, and he stayed for 2005, might have been a 2-year deal, and got some great results. Then moved to be teammates with Greg Murphy. He only did it because he wanted to pair up with him at Bathurst, because like, why wouldn't you? It's Greg Murphy. And they were in the mix. They were leading for a good portion of the race. And I can't remember now. Hang on, who crashed? I think McConville crashed. He crashed at the Skyline. And that was really, really frustrating for Murph because he was having a really bad year, whereas McConville wasn't having too bad a year. 07 was a disaster. I would like to maybe go in more detail about what happened to PWR. I think they just weren't really focused on working on the cars. And it's amazing they had like a 3-year deal with Super Cheap. And this is one of the ugliest liveries. Like, I don't know who designed that livery, but it looks terrible. This looks amazing. This looks shocking. You got Brad Jones years where he's actually pretty good. Podium at Adelaide. And they just sort of struggled. I don't think I have information on how his year went. But we can look that up. We can look up 2008. And here he is. Got a couple of top 10s at Hamilton. A few more top 10s. He was pretty good. But a lot of DNFs, I think, kept him back from being further up the order. Andrew Jones further down, got the one top 10 at Hamilton. And yeah, that's what happens. McConville was a pretty damn good driver. He got smashed in qualifying by Murph in 06. And then he was also smashed in 04 by Garth Tander. But Murph was pretty good at qualifying, and Garth was one of the best drivers the sport's had. So, but McConville was not. He was no slouch. He wasn't a bad driver. 34th in 2007, though. I do want to check because Paul Dumbrell beat him in the championship. He came like 20th, and I wonder if it was just like a lot of mechanical failures. Well, here you go. Looks like Paul Dumbrell didn't score points for ages. He got 10th and 6th there. That would have helped him a lot. 69 points versus 35 points. So, how many top 15? I think McConville had more top 15 finishes, but only 2 of them were top 10s. But also, that's a 6th place at Sandown, and that would have given him big points. What's the points system for? It's pretty straightforward. It's one race you get more points. So 36 points for that one. 6th place. That's kind of amazing they managed to do that. So yeah, that's why he got. So he's got 36 points more than McConville, who had, what was that, 40? Where is he? 35. 35 times 2 is 70. So it's, 69 basically. They would have been even on points if it wasn't for that sixth place. So, yeah. I think when people they talk about, who was better, who was worse, they look at championship, and I think you got to look at where the points were scored and where and what happened in the races, like who was out qualifying one another, because qualifying is one of the best ways to tell what driver's better. But then not just whether they're qualifying well, but whether they're actually able to turn that into a result, or pass cars and get points. And McConville was probably able to do that quite well. He's several times. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times that he scored points. We got 6 times for Dumbrell, and Dumbrell missed a round. It might have. I think it was appendicitis, something like that. Is there information? Driver changes, mid-season changes. No. The same thing about Paul Dumbrell. Paul Dumbrell posting Murphy at Paul Wheel Racing. Is there any information on what happened there? Probably not. Alright. What else? What do we got here? Looks like it's going to load. It's a web archive one, so we should be able to get something. I don't really know what I'm looking for. It's going to take a little while. I am pretty tired. I think I've just been waking up really early for the last week at 3 o'clock, and then because we had a hot week last week, so we were starting at 5, finishing at 1:30 on a normal day, we finished at 11 on Friday, I think we finished pretty like at 11 on Tuesday. I think that was a really hot day, and just not getting enough sleep. It's nuts. And then also had a little bit of caffeine. All right, here we go. Murph goes to Tasman. Dumbrell goes to Super Cheap. Yes, and Murph was supposed to have a 3-year deal. While we still had him under contract, he has another opportunity. We didn't want to stand in the way of that. It's been building itself up into becoming one of the major players in Supercars, and that's something I want to be part of. Most strides in recent years. With my experience combined with a brand new VE Commodore, I think I can help it take it to the next step into becoming a race-winning proposition. Yeah, it's interesting. So it's on the 14th of December 2006. I think that was after the last round, and this is 2006, of course. So there's would have been stuff about what's that? That's 2007 championship going there. This is weird. I guess it might have been archived in 07. That's why. A tipping leaderboard. That's interesting. And yeah, that's not the final championship order because Todd Kelly finished 6th in the championship. Rick finished 4th. Lowndes was 3rd. Whincup 2nd. Yeah, so this is captured on the 3rd of September, I think. Yeah, 3rd September. And then it's got a time as well, I think. Yeah. I mean, John Bowe did a pretty good job. For the way his season started, it was bad, but several point scoring positions. Didn't have a great car, but still able to get the thing in the top 15. And I was thinking, when we're looking at James Courtney, where are we going? We're talking about James Courtney, and we're talking about early qualified down the back, so it was easier to pick up points, and some drivers didn't finish those races. So how do you know if he actually had a good race or not? I sort of did that a little bit. But I can't watch the highlights on stream because it'll get me a penalty, and then people from New Zealand will not be allowed to watch it apparently. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch something else. What can we do? Stevie J and there's Will Davison. Well, Stevie J is beating Will Davison a bit here. Maybe it takes a little while for Will to get going, but it looks like Stevie J was well up in the points ahead of him. And that's 3 times that Stevie J didn't score points, whereas Will Davison did 2 times. So he might have been a bit ahead. And yes, a lot of times that Stevie J didn't score points, so I wonder what happened. Okay, you know what? We'll try and see if... Oops, hang on. I actually need that because I wanted to see what races things went wrong in. If Stevie J just didn't qualify well or what happened. Because he got that. There's one at Pukekohe where he's come 21st. So we'll try and skip through to whenever that happens. It's only got. Hang on, it's got 3 races. All right, I was going insane.
Well, let's check out the Fuso start grid for race 2 of the Placemakers.
Let's see where he starts.
And you can see on the front row of the grid will be Garden Tander alongside Mark Winterbottom. Let the battle resume. It was a beauty yesterday. Rick Kelly, 17 points. He got the third. He hasn't finished outside the top 5 in any race of the season in 2006, and that is why he's the championship leader. Stephen Richards and Todd Kelly will start from row 3. Row 4 belongs to Jason Richards and the enforcer, Russell Engel, who moved up a couple of spots in the championship from yesterday.
Murph should have been closer, but he's not.
There's Mark Skate in position 10. Unfortunately for Courtney, a bad stop.
Well, there's Murph, 12th, not too bad. Where's Stevie J? Nope, just 1 spot behind. This is the first race, right? So he actually did fine in the first race, so we want to see the second race. So let's have a look at this one. Here's Jason Bright. I could be a commentator.
Jason, he was on the radio earlier though, describing to his crew that the car was
Max Wilson, another driver who I think maybe could have been good. But because he was really good in qualifying. 2002, when I was talking about Simon Wills, he qualified 5th at Adelaide. His first race in the Supercars was 2002. Max Wilson stuck his better electrical Falcon 5th in the order in qualifying. It's insane. And he just regularly would do that. It was just amazing. Will Davison with the Babylicious Babes in front of him. I wonder if they had the same thing with Stevie J's car. Might have done.
Just a different feeling about this stage of the day. This man has been doing everything same, really, because it's working. It's been working, especially since Barbagello. feeling it's the end of an era.
Is that Tony Cochrane? Ah, the last race of Pukekohe, 2007. Because I went to Hamilton. Yes, please. Where did... Well, I mean, he would have started 13th or something. That was where he finished. Which is roughly where he started. They didn't really go anywhere.
Throughout race 2, you've got Courtney Escape then, Craig Lowndes and Will Davison making up row 4.
They're doing a good job.
Said to be earlier between races 2 and 3 that he managed to tune his car to a standstill, end quote, and he's now gone back to some earlier settings for this third and final race.
Max Wilson up there. Where's Stevie J? Did he have an issue and that's why he started down the back? Might have been. Maybe he started 21st.
And Stephen Richards, we saw the tail end of a spin down near the hairpin. He did that on his own. He told me he was trying to get by Paul Morris at the time.
There he is, 21st.
And that was
Alright, so he just had no pace, right? It seems. He started 13th, finished 13th, and started 21st for some reason. See if he says anything.
turns 2, 3, and then 4 on the opening lap of race 2. Mark Winterbottom, with a whole stack of troubles throughout the second race, ended up losing 21 positions. Shane Price starting from position 25, and down to the back of the grid we go. Andrew Jones and Paul Dunbar.
So no mention on what happened. So he started 21st. Can we go back to that first race?
Well, let's
I just want to know what happened. I think in this first one because they had the camera. They got there, Cameron Conville, Jason Bright. They're flicking through all the cars. Is that one of the Vodafone cars? Is that Stephen Richards straight away? That's what they just mentioned. Well, is that Stevie J or is that Will Davison?
the 1 second advantage over Mark Winterbottom. Don't forget to check out bigpondsport.com. All your favourite sports.
Yep, damage.
There you can see the damage to the front. Stephen Johnson's Jim Beam Racing Falcon. He said yesterday that he was losing some straight line performance due to front end damage. Well, he's losing a lot more than he actually happy to see because of the crimp in the bottom. It'd be quite difficult to see the 8.
It's a shame we're losing Crompo. So he's got damage. Or maybe Wikipedia's wrong. Maybe he ended up 21st. 20th, yeah.
He turned 62 on Thursday. Happy birthday to you, Jim.
Who's that? Is that Triple Eight? I thought it was a DJR thing but I didn't realize I had Paul Morris there. Frosty's fallen off the track. I think the occasional mistake is alright. That's Will Davison. That's what? JR? Yeah, he's been gone on the fence somehow. Yeah, so he must have actually finished. Stevie J must have actually finished 21st, and for some reason they've said 13th there. Qualified 13th, finished 21st, and with no image on what happened. And then he's moved up to 16th, so he just didn't really have the pace, I think. Then you got this one at Winton. Whatever's happened there, the third race at Winton. Stevie J is just trash. Stevie J's probably just mid, not trash. Stevie J versus Andrew Jones, I'd bet on Stevie J. Stevie J would put it on pole. But versus other drivers like Will Davison's, James Courtney's, he's had some great teammates over the years. It's one of the reasons Nepo babies have a bad name. No. Stephen Johnson was not that bad. Because he was still putting the car in the top 10 of the championship. It's not like he had an opportunity and he blew it. He just got beaten to it. Top 10's bare minimum. Well, it's good. You wouldn't sack him for top 10 in the championship. For 10 plus year veteran. 10 plus year veteran in 2010. Yeah. But he was also heavily involved in the team as well. So that's sort of an issue. And so that's a problem with being involved in the team, is that you're not just focusing on yourself, you're focusing on the team as well. Whereas professional drivers don't do that. They're just focused on what they're doing. And that's why when they screw up, it's all on them, because they shouldn't be worrying about anything else going on with the team. It's top 10 still good. You can still get the team's championship if you get top 10 of the championship. Let's look, because it was a bit off as well compared to 09. Stevie J was better in 09, I reckon. So 2010. Yeah, not great. It's got a few top 10s there. And then just kind of shocking. Kind of shocking until the very 5th at Sandown, then 4th at Sydney. But of course, Sydney was a crazy one. Yes, you can. 2020. Or Scott McLaughlin. Fabian. All right, Fabian was 6th. All right, Fabian did a lot better than what Stevie J did. So, all right, yeah, you win. I'll go back to seeing what happened there. So what's happened to him at Winton? Is he just crashed? Yeah. I think 2018 might be the one I'm thinking of. Did 2018 Fabian comes like 8th or something, or 9th? Fabian came 9th, yeah, and they didn't win the team's championship that year. So probably because of that, well, obviously you got SVG and Wink up right there, 2nd and 3rd. So, but you know, DJR also shat the bed because they decided they didn't want to have a 2-car team. So. Scapey having a bad year. I still think 2007 was a bad year for Scapey. He just he wasn't at his best. 06 he was still at his best. 07 Todd Kelly got 2 poles, Scapey got no poles. And Scapey should have got at least as many poles as Todd Kelly. It's good PR. Yeah. But like, do you judge someone on... Obviously you judge someone on the entirety of their career. He should have got Bathurst pole. But did he do anything bad in the lap? I don't think he made a mistake in the lap. I think he did a pretty good lap. Don't remember. He made a mistake? Okay, yeah, well, he said he did. Okay, well, if he said he did, yeah, well, I think 07 wasn't his year anymore. 06, though, was peak Scafey. And then he had 2 more years, and that was the end of it. Yeah, from my recollection, he did a solid lap, but he might maybe had a lockup, maybe he didn't do something right. It wasn't his best year anyway. 06, he was at his best. He just had a crap car and things kept going wrong. 7.2, I think. The lap, 207.2. And Foster just did a banger lap. Yeah. And that was interesting because I think Frosty told the story of he was he was so nervous about doing the lap that Richo had to give him a motivational speech to say, no, you're gonna go do that lap, and then he goes out and he puts the thing on pole. Like, that's great. I love stories like that. There were quite a few good laps. But I don't think it was anything like 03. Don't know. We'll have a look. What were the times? Hang on. Is this? No, that's not going to show. Should have focused on not choking during the race. Alright, and 2000, hang on, we're looking for shootout. Radicic did a 2:08.4. Holdsworth. Hang on, is there an actual time somewhere? Here we go. Alright. So, okay, is this the one that Ingle beached it? Oh, did that come out today, did it? There we go. Kostecki gets the 17. That's a shame. So, what's Ryling Gray? He spun at the final corner. Oh, yeah. Ingle, did he beach it in 06? So I guess he spun in 07 as well. And Ryling Gray gets a 38. What's the point of that? So he's getting a meaningless number. Blah, blah, blah. 17 is special. Whoop-de-doo. Because the 38 was also a Johnson number. Yeah. I think, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. Ran 38 in his FJ during his first race at Lakeside 1964. That's cool. All right. That's fine. Yeah. All right. Never had a solid number since Twerkolt left. Yeah, true. Well, they had 18 for such a long time. They had 12 with Fabian Coulthard. They had 11 with De Pasquale. They just keep on changing it. Some teams like Blanchards have made it clear that they're going to stick with their numbers. What else? Walkinshaw have got history with their numbers. 888 like to have their numbers with the 8s. Yeah. Anyway, so Radicic did an 8.4. 8.3 for Courtney, that's not great. 8.3 for Murph. 8.2 for Lowndes. 8.1 for Holdsworth. That was pretty good because I think it says that he came out second. 8.0 for Johnson. Shield they haven't done a deal with, but for the number 8. What? Shield they haven't done a deal with, but for the number 8. Is that a... Do you misspell that or something? Splash Triple A haven't done a deal with BJR for the number 8. Oh, yeah. It's just sort of... it's a low number. I don't know why I had a stroke typing that. Yeah. Yeah, you might want to get yourself checked. I don't think that number 8 is very important to Triple Eight. And Supercars isn't like NASCAR. You don't need to do deals for numbers. You just like what did they do for MSR when they changed their numbers? The 10 and the 4. They probably just went and talked to Brad Jones and SCT and said, we want the number 4. It's really special to us. And BJR and SCT said, that's okay, you can grab it. We don't really care too much for it. We just needed another number. And I think number 4 was like the first one in the order. Will Brown in the 87 pisses you off. You wanted it to be the 888? Because, yeah. And at this point, the 888 will never get run. Yeah, 888 and 88, it's fine. Like, obviously, Lowndes ran 888 for a really long time. The SCT car 8. Oh, yeah, could do. Yeah, I expect it to be number 12, but yeah, they could make that number 8. But yeah, and it will literally be 888. Yeah, you got 3 8 numbers. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, because I think we're so. Are we expecting Will Brown to have 888 instead of 87? Can't people pick? It's really bothering me that people aren't keeping their numbers. They've never cared for it. Yeah. I wonder if there's an article about that. He'll go to 87. Yeah, I think so. They did pick it for a reason, and I thought it was a very clever reason as well. Numbers go with the rec now. No, they don't. They don't. They used to, but they don't. Not since 2005, I think. I don't know when exactly. Yeah, it would have been 2005. Because I think 2005 there was an issue where WPS and Perkins had all these different numbers, and they swapped recs so they could have the numbers that they wanted. Because what was it? There was something complicated, but it's numbers don't go with the rec. Even though what was it? Thomas Randall. Such niche info. Yeah, yeah. I love it. Here we go. All right, not 2005. Must have been 04. What was it? Was I? Yeah. So you see, like for some reason, Dumbrell and Richo both ran 11 and 24, which was the numbers that they used to have. So they had to do a swap because WPS had number 8. So then they've done a swap for 06 so that where is it? So hang on. No, it's getting complicated. So they go. Perkins already had the 11. So what happened to the? What am I doing? Who had the 7? And also, I'm pretty sure Perkins ran number 8 in 04, right? Yeah, they had 8 and 11. Yeah. So they were 7 and 11 with probably because they Jack Daniels wanted the old number 7. That's probably what it was all about. No, they've got number 8 right here with Dumbrell because Russell Ingall ran number 8. But 06 they ran 7 and 11, and then 07 I think Shane Price was 7 and Jack was so this is 04. Dumbrell's got 8 but 05 they had 11 and 24 for some reason. Very very complicated. Very very messy. Very messy with the numbers, and I think that probably it was something that needed to get sorted out. Like even 05 you got 8 and 48 for WPS, and then they've sorted out for 06. But number 10 was a Larkham number as well. So yeah, weird. So what happened in Where was number? Well, number 8 was a Perkins number, so I guess what's his name from WP? Craig Gore wanted the 8 for some reason, and so then they were gone. Now, what year was it? So 08. What happened in 08? Where was the 8? Did not run, maybe? Yeah, because some gambling superstition, maybe. Yeah, he was a dodgy man anyway. But I like that he spoke out about stuff and had his protests. What was it? No sponsorship from Ford, no money from Ford. Banners on the cars. That's funny as. Yeah. So then Brad they get the 809, right? Because I guess it was registered as WPS, but they didn't compete. So yeah, Brad gets the 8 for 09 because Brad was superstitious with his numbers. Got rid of the 21. Petty, but he's never winning that battle. Who's Petty? Craig Gore, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they got the win. They got the win at Tassie in 2004. It just sort of ruins a race win. It really does. Like, yeah, Brad ran number 21 until 2006 and then switched to 14 because John Bow was number 12. He was 888 in 02 and 3, I want to say. I think it was 03. Oh, hang on. And, I'm going to get my PowerPoint presentation. It will take too long to do. Anything else? But John Bow was 12, but he did run 888, I guess in 2004, because that was when 888 took the 888 back. Briggs at 888? No, that was... No, it was Brad Jones had it because that was what John Bow ran. So here we are. They expanded to 2 cars, Brad Jones Racing. John's got 888, and then he's got it again in 03. Yeah, 2002 and 2003, Briggs Better Electrical Cars had 65 and 66. Yeah, and so then John's got 12. Brad's got Superstitious. He's sick of crashing in 05. Switches to 14. I love that so much. It's funny as. And then for whatever reason, they've got rid of the 12 and put the 8 in. Maybe it was an old Brad Jones number or something from Ozcar and NASCAR and Super Touring or something, but or maybe JR wanted the 8. Just a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know. And then they picked up the 21 again when they expanded to 3 cars for Carl Reindler. But they got rid of it eventually. When was it? Yeah, in 2020. When Macca had the number 3 for, I think, 1 year, and then the 96 since 21. Jack Smith with the number 4 for his whole career. Then Jackson Evans gets the 12 because Matt Stone Racing wanted the 4 and the 10 because it's their Stone Brothers related numbers. The 10 was actually Larkham's number, but he did run with Stone Brothers, I think in 99 and 2000 maybe. I think it was 2000. Yeah, so that's funny. Just people being superstitious about numbers. I think in Excels there's somebody's running the number 13. I think they'd want 4 and 9. Well, the 9's with Erebus, so they couldn't take it. Which they used to have 4 and 9 at Erebus until Dale Wood. He was the first one to run the 99. And I think my my Adelaide 500 program from that year says that it says number 4, but he didn't actually end up running number 4. He ran 99. There's the rare occasion of Brad Jones being good. Anyway, yeah, that's a fun story of what happened with race car numbers. But yeah, weird what was happening with. I think it was a sponsorship thing. Why Perkins had number 7, because Jack Daniels wanted it. So it's interesting that they ended up going with the Kellys and sticking with Rick Kelly instead of Todd Kelly, because Todd ran number 7. So interesting. Looked good. Yeah. Yeah. So hang on. So Todd was trash. That's why. Maybe Rick was pretty good. Rick was better. Although I did notice in the stats, I think Todd win more races? Something I worked on in the last week. Yeah, so Todd won more. Yeah, so you got 58 podiums and 50 podiums for Todd. Yeah, 15 pole positions for Todd, 13 for Rick, 24 DNFs for Rick, but I think it would have been a lot more for Todd because he drove the car that died all the time. He also was not great at finishing races in his professional career either. Yeah. I don't have the numbers on wins. But yeah, Rick didn't really win a lot of races anyway. So Stevie J did a pretty good lap there. As soon as he went Perkins, my God. Yeah, I think once he started being involved in teams, then he just wasn't. I don't think it was just luck. I think because on his day he was really good, but it wasn't often enough. So Stevie J's done a 208 flat. I don't know if, well, I mean, that's 4/10 from 4th to 9th. So you see the amount of bad luck. Or just like the car blowing up all the time or something. Especially when they went to Nissan. Yeah. 2015 Queensland Raceway, why me? That's a massive jump there. So Stevie J has done a 208 flat, and then Garth Tander's put 7/10 on him. Scafie's put it on the front row. If you read comments on Supercars full races. They all hate the Kellys. Wow. Jeez. Wonder why. What people just... Oh, they hate... You kind of notice how dirty they were as drivers. Yeah, I'm watching 2015. I think Rick put it on pole at Darwin, and then he's just completely screwed up turn 1 and taken out Fabian Coulthard. And I'm just like, wow, he could just not do that. And the number of times that Rick had put the car on pole at Darwin. So 2015 he's done it. 2017 he's done the same thing, put it on pole, then put it in the fence. It's like, wow, you could just like hang on to it and get a podium. Whincup does it in the next race. Well, I think, yeah, because that was the one that was the next one. I think it was Reynolds win, but he didn't even start on the front row. I think. Yeah, Triple A is having had a bad year in 15. They're just sort of like nowhere to be seen for several races. Darwin, they weren't really anywhere. I think apart from when Lowndes got his win. Then Townsville, they're just nowhere. Like Whincup was nowhere. Nuts. But yeah, it's just like the top 3 in the 07 Bathurst shootout. You finished 2013? Yeah. What are your thoughts? Didn't realise how shocking Whincup was in 2013. Yeah? What was he doing? He's just like not putting it on pole, not getting as many wins or making lots of mistakes. Midway through the year. Winton, I forget the other track. Oh yeah, Winton 2013. It was like, what the hell happened? Just like crash on the start. Didn't he crash into Dalberto or something? 3 rounds before Enduros, he's having a stinker. Yeah. Oh. What, Todd Kelly crashed into Dalberto? Well, Alex Davison raced 2 that weekend. Race 3, Whincup and Todd Kelly crash off the start. Oh, okay. That's weird. What happened? Did Whincup stall and Todd smashed in the back of him? Whincup unaffected. Wheels interlocked. Oh, okay, yeah. So would have put Todd in the fence probably, or I don't know. Yeah, so Scaife did a really good lap in 07 here. Like that's a 10th in the infield. Yeah. But like this 07 shootout didn't get really cooking until, I mean, it's still pretty similar. Race 1 transaxle was cooked. Oh, okay. Townsville was slow. All right. Yeah, well, FPR were pretty good in 2013 at Townsville. Will Davison got the win. I think Frosty might have got the win the day before. Don't know who else. I think that's right. Davo was race 1. Okay. Did Frosty get race 2? HRT won 2 the second race. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what happened in the 07 shootout there. 2015 was, yeah, I've just finished watching Townsville 2015. Actually, that's why I was a tiny bit late to streaming, was because I was playing F1 and watching Townsville 2015. Then I was like, oh my god, I got 5 minutes to stream, and my computer wasn't even turned on yet. Oh, there's a broken car. There's Maxi. Now, I'm looking at this one. They sacked old mate Couchy for the rest of the season. Yeah, they took him. Well, they didn't. What, for the rest of the season? Because I know they took him off and Dado had to get on it to get the car back in the window. because it was just maybe inexperienced as a race engineer. It was his third season of it, so he's not as experienced as demoted. Yeah, I think it's just experience, like a 10-year race engineer versus a 3-year race engineer. Just I don't know. Maybe Couchy might have done Super 2 race engineering or something. Back to data engineer. All right. Yeah. Bugs. You just won a championship with him. Yeah. Mate, I think they just had they had it pretty sorted that year. And there were also different tyres in 2015. They were struggling with the tyres. They do talk about the softs versus the hards a lot, and a lot of people struggling with the softs, but maybe Triple Eight in particular, getting the setups right in those tyres. It's horrible start to fall. Oh yeah, he was, but then he started cooking, like absolutely smashing everyone at the back end. Like Win Cup has only had one pretty much perfect year, and that was 09. Where he led start to finish. His fifth started 2014. 213 points back. 213 points back in 2015. Then after Darwin. Yeah, well, they actually mentioned that in the broadcast in 2015. Yeah, so 2014 he started cooking, yeah. But they mentioned it in the 2015 broadcast. On the rare occasion that Greg Rust as a commentator was actually good, talking about how the year happened. But I suppose in the moment, if you were watching then, you probably go, yeah, I know, I've been watching the whole time. But if you're just tuning in, getting the story is pretty good. So hated Greg Rust. I find it funny. I want to. It'd be great to have a drinking game of watch the 2015 season, and every time they mention Ash Walsh, you take a shot, because the number of times that they mention Ash Walsh, who isn't even doing anything interesting, they just kind of bring him up, and I'm like, why are you bringing him up? He hasn't. They had to pay him. It's just like, I couldn't believe how many times Ash Walsh got mentioned. I get mentioning him if he crashes or if he's doing a really good job in the race, but he wasn't for the most part. It was weird having Greg Rust there. Like, what they could have had Scafie and it would have been more interesting. I don't know why they didn't, but I guess Channel 10 really didn't want Scafie. He loves saying Scott McLaughlin heaps too. Yeah. Oh, and Greg Murphy constantly in the GRM pits talking to them about how Scott McLaughlin was going. There's a bit of bias there. What else was there? I don't think there's I think with Scott McLaughlin is that 2014 versus 2015, you would have expected him to been. Scapey was there. We really don't hear him a lot. He's like hardly there at all. He was just on the desk with Yates. Yeah, I actually watched a couple of clips this week. Because Jules Engel's been posting clips on her YouTube channel of the debates between Russell Engel and Scafie. That stuff's pretty good. They talk about hard racing and what's okay, what's not okay. It's a very interesting one. It's such a difficult subject to be 100% sure that you completely nailed it. But yeah, just weird that they sort of they must have really thought that Greg Rust was like the best commentator or something. Because I like Greg Rust, but I don't think he's great as a commentator. He's like, he would have been better off commentating support categories because a lot of support category commentators aren't really that great. It's rare to find. Actually, what was the one? Because Channel 7 struggled without presenters in the back half of 2014. Okay. They could have put Jack Perkins on, he might have been all right. So I went with the model supercars are trying now. Well, pretty much the Foxtel model where they've got people on the desk and people on the presenter and the expert in the box. So they could have had Matt White, but maybe he was still at Channel 7 or something. I think Matt White was great. I liked having Matt White on there. But maybe Matt White was the same as Greg Russ. I just think that Matt White had a lot better color commentary. Not two experts from 2016, 2015. 2016, 2025. Matt White signed with 10 halfway through 2014. Oh, okay. Okay, so they didn't have... Yeah, all right, that's interesting. Because I haven't seen any of 2014 because... I saw one race at Darwin, and I thought Darwin's the track that always throws up the best racing. And it was the most boring race I've ever seen that supercars have produced. Because the only times that positions changed from start to finish was because people fell off the track or had mechanical issues. From Perth onwards, he was gone. Yeah. Well, that's what happens. That's how industries usually work. The last race, I think it was the first race. The last one. I reckon the first one was bad too. Because I think they kind of spent... I don't know what race it was, but they spent the whole thing talking about, oh, Frosty's he's really close to putting a move on I think Wing Cup, and he was just nowhere. He never put the move on, and I think because the tires were just terrible that year, and so in 2015 they've put a lot of money into putting tires on. Tander versus Winterbottom. Okay. And it's just, I think Will Davison had an issue, so he got garaged, and the entire race, nobody passed anyone after that first lap once everyone sorted themselves into a line. And I was like, oh my God, is somebody going to put a move on? Like, people complain about it these days saying it's not enough passing, but literally nothing happened. And I was like, this is the most boring 40 minutes of my life. I cannot believe how much it sucked. So like that, I think when people complain about supercars racing, sometimes saying there's no passing, watch a race where there is literally no passing. Because that was one of them, and I thought, oh my God, I hope the whole season isn't this bad. 2011 was chaos. 2007, I think 2007 was a bit like that as well. So certain years had where there were seasons where tires weren't good enough for racing for some reason. No one could pass anyone because if they pushed, they'd overheat the tires, they'd ruin the tires, and they'd drop back. So they just had to sit there. And so that must have just been the worst year to watch. But I think there were some races where it was actually good. I think, like, especially straight tracks, but straight tracks is easy. Bathurst is easy. But for some reason, like Darwin, which is always puts on a banger of a round, it was a complete boredom. Oh. Anyway. So I wanted to see what happened with... Are they going to show the grid at all? Where did Stevie J start? This is race 11. I think it's the last one. I think Stevie J got a DNF.
This is it. The third and final race of round 4. The V8 Supercar Championship. Tanda versus Wing Cup. Tanda looks as though he's got the...
There we go. Peak Tanda versus early Wing Cup. Is Rick going to get him? No. Great to see Murph up there. Oh, Rick's about to get Murph. But, you know, HSV versus Tasman. Oh, no. Murph held him off. So, Scapie versus McConville. Oh. My goodness.
There's been quite a bit of trouble here this weekend. Winterbottom started from 20th position. He must have made up a couple of spots there because Manning was chasing down Jason Barguana right there. Everybody driving down the right-hand side.
Man, it's like a traffic jam.
Driving to the fence. This is Jason Barguana of the WPS 40 front. Standing that time.
Frosty's got a bit of damage. Bit of front bumper there. Now, Jason Bright got 7th in one of these races at Winton. Was it this one? Not this one. Something happened. Brighty was good in 07. He was just driving an absolute dog box and dragging it. Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just unreliable. A good car that was unreliable. Because he had so many DNFs. And Alan Gert was not doing anything special at all. Marcus Marshall was actually pretty good. Compared to Alan Gert, anyway. Oh, that Stevie J's. What position is that? 6th? I will see in a second. Steve Owen doing a great job in the Autobahn car. Leon Zingle. 7th for Stevie J. But he ends up with a DNF, so. Oh. Was that Andrew Jones about to put a move on him? Gee, AJ's doing all right. And those Brad Jones cars. You're going? Oh, me off. He'd have a shit year in the main series. Well, a bit hanging off. Is that Frosty's car. Yeah. A bit of tape. Some sort of trim. Like you never see anyone make F1 then go back to F2. Yeah, well, I think they're not allowed to. Like champions of F2 aren't allowed to stay. So, like once they've won the championship, you're not allowed to compete. So you just become a reserve driver, or you go do World Endurance Championship or Formula E or something. Yeah, Scafey. Sitting behind Dean Canto. There's a little bit flicking around on Frosty's car. Garth loving life. I think I was doing alright there. Yep. Of course, they're not concerned about it. They're the team. It's whether the stewards are concerned about it and give him a black flag and say you got to come in and take that bit off. Just a bit hit and miss sometimes, because sometimes you got a bit hanging off and you get a black flag, you got to come in and take it off. They usually just hope that it flies off. Apparently, Rick Kelly is not fond of his 06 car, but he is fond of the 07 car. That's because it's such a great car. They had a way better year in 07 than 06. Oh, Scafey. So even then, he should have handed the keys to somebody else. Ugh. And Macombo was in the 50. It was a VZ. And Dumbrell had the VE. Russell was doing a pretty good job in 07. Apart from that screw up in the shootout at Bathurst. Should probably really sold this championship for Wingcup. Did they screw it up, did they? Because I don't think Wingcup was that good in 07. He was close to where he needed to be, but in 08 he was definitely good. But I think in 07 the car wasn't that good, maybe. Because they weren't really on the front row all that often in qualifying. Lowndes in. And I guess with Stevie J, they'll probably just run him long, but they might not. I think in Perth they brought him in. Was it early or same time as everyone else, roughly? Scafe was falling off, but I don't know anyone that could have taken the seat at the time that deserved it. Yeah, true. Like he wasn't. He got disqualified one of the races. Oh, really? Yeah, they didn't really have anyone on the Holden books. Wrong rear brakes or had them backwards. Oh, wow. That's so weird. Surely, if you had them backwards, it would be an issue for the team. Why would it be an issue for the category? Unless they won the race or something. They love to butter up Lowndes. Here he is, performing slightly worse than the year before. He did do a really good job in at Darwin though, in 07. Shane Price 15th, but some people have pitted though, haven't they? The number of times that Frosty's down the order in 07, it's frustrating. Like FPR weren't that great in 07, I think. Frosty was constantly putting the thing on pole. He got the pole award, and still just struggling. I love how they're not wearing race suits. It wasn't compulsory. HRT have got them, but you got FPR further up. They don't have them. They're just wearing shirts and pants. It's interesting. Or maybe because they're not doing fuel. If you're doing a fuel stop, maybe you have to wear a race suit. Dutton said they were from the Rude Day. Do you want to try that again? Put them on, didn't realise it wasn't Supercar spec. Oh, okay. Fair enough. The ride day, I mean, yeah. Yeah. So what happens, I think sometimes in businesses you've got to be a lot, and maybe just in life, you've got to be more organised. If you got a lot of stuff, write on what it is, and make sure that people have enough time to do their jobs. JB. So, well, they didn't put fuel in, or maybe they did a splash and dash. Yeah, it's a sprint race. So it's not compulsory to wear a race suit. Endurers, they all wear suits, yeah, but I guess not in the sprint races. Yeah, the ride day, yeah. So I think we're a bit out of sync. It might be a bit of a delay. Maybe my internet's a bit slow or something. It's sad watching 2007, knowing that John Bowe, after he announced his retirement, that he found that he had depression. But he wasn't having a great year anyway. It's not like if he won the championship and he was still depressed. Rears on Rick, looks like. So Stevie J third. A minute behind, okay. Yeah, I think that's about right. It was about a minute since I said that, so I'm wondering what takes so long to respond. Yeah, I don't know if it's my internet or if it's yours. It could be my internet. It's like yeah. Sometimes it's a little bit. It takes a while before I can actually, from when I click the button to go live to when it actually goes live. Yeah. It's you. Okay. All right. Good. I figure it. I could figure it could be me, but I don't. I'm like, I don't know. I pay like $100 a month for internet, so it's not like I got the cheap one.
Well, all the teams are watching this weather radar very closely at the moment. This is NPR's satellite map, and we are right here in Winton. The light green is seeing a light showers that are falling in the area. Raging at the moment, but there's very little chance that they'll fall here, but they are watching that weather radar very, very closely indeed.
I think the first race at Winton was a wet one, because that was the one where it was like told there was no commentary, so you could commentate it yourself. Ooh, Rick's just got Murph. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I do like oh, what's his name? I do like that guy as a commentator. I wonder if he'd be good in the races, like doing race commentary. Because I like having like a crompo, and then you have an expert, and then you have someone who can just make it fun. There we go. Stevie J's car's blown up. The end. All right, next race. When was it? So what was the next one that the things went wrong? Second one at Darwin. All right, we'll find out if he actually starts 23rd, because I think the getting hot, eh? So if he starts 23rd, then I won't be worrying about it. So Stevie J was 11th at the end of the first race. If he starts 11th, then we know something happened. Max Wilson doing a good job qualifying, but that was the way he finished. So Stevie started 11th. All right, something happened. We will see.
Suspension damage to that car slowed it in the race. He also banged his elbow, bruised quite badly, but he's okay. A couple of other bits of information resulting from the first race yesterday. John Bow had some contact again with Cam McConville. They've come together a couple of times this year. James Courtney, that very.
I'm just going to fill up my water bottle.
Cam McConville, the contact that he had with John Bow resulted in him having to stop to replace a tyre. Flat tyre was the issue there. Other interesting points further down the field. Paul Dumbrell, who will start from position 24 in this race, driving with a broken finger. Painkiller wore off yesterday. It was so painful he found himself driving down the main straight, changing gear with his right hand.
See, I had heaps of time.
Aside from Jason Bargwanna, who's mechanical, the guys who ended out with DNF.
Jason Bargwanna and DNFs in 07. Mechanical issues in 07. It was something that I don't know where I got this information from, but I thought that Jason Bargwanna put the car on pole at Gold Coast in 2009 for Tasman. I don't know where I got the information from, but then I've checked it again and it might not be accurate. But first Gold Coast 09 was that year where they had 4 races, so. What he did put it on pole? He was. Alright. Yeah. Has McConville got a VE yet? Well, but in 09, so it was sprint gas. Yeah. Sprint gas racing for sponsorship purposes, but for the actual race team, it's called Tasman Motorsport.
Nikki is the lady who's going to be watching this very, very nervously. A nervous V8 Supercar fan, a nervous Jason Bright fan. Yesterday, after qualifying, they sold the damaged bonnet to her for $250. Brighty signed it. She went to collect it last night. They said, "We need to give you money back." She said, "How come?" I said, "Well, we had a crash yesterday. We need to use the bonnet." She said, "But I want it."
Just like so, yeah, it was. Thought Greg Murphy's dad took the team over. No, so they were still Tasman Motorsport. But they had they were sprint gas racing. It's like Team Vodafone or I don't know, Team BOC. 2008 Winton, he commentated. I hated it. Who commentated? Baguana. Beretta. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. There we know. It'd be good to. I'll have to go on that illegal Russian website and actually, it wouldn't be illegal, but go on that Russian website and watch some 2008 to 2010 stuff. Rick Kelly on the front row. Matt White was at the Olympics. Ah, fair enough. Something else is happening. Isn't what's his name? Lee Diffie. He went and did the Olympics as well, I think. But he's doing NASCAR now. He was doing IndyCar for a long time, but now he's doing NASCAR. Now, is this the one? He's so good. What, Lee Diffie's good? Diffie Crumpo was a late. Yeah, I wonder what years that was. Here we go. Is this the one? Scafey comes through. Look at him. Oh no, it was Todd. Todd round the outside, I think. Scafey's outbraked him, gone through the turn one. Peak Scafey. And then he's lost the rear. Oh no. 0506. Okay, yeah, cool. Oh my god. What? Todd hit him there. Come on, lost the rear. Yeah. They've just sort of made contact. Now I think it's this one. Shane Price's engineer is Barry Ryan. Don't know when to get the spot up. Tried to tell Todd was his issue. Didn't know when to get the spot up. Yeah. Gee, something happened at Price. He just ended up with something to crash into. Yeah, maybe both Todd and Rico like that they don't that like Rick throws away a good result by comes off the front row and just ends up with an incident. He showed me the Perkins engineering video, Scafe driving their car. Rick is worse. And yeah. Rick is worse than Todd. Oh, really? I think I've mentioned it because it's a great video. 2010, Scaife gets behind the wheel and talking to Richard Holway about setups, and he's driving the car and he's talking about the behavior of the car. It's great. He'll defend down the white line for 20th. Yeah, well, they said that about Rick, didn't they? They said that he is one of the hardest people to pass because it's probably like trying to pass Shane Van Gisbergen and he might just run you off instead. Jack Perkins posted on his YouTube. 2007. All right. Well, I think there's definitely well, Scafey drove Perkins' car. Oh, I think of Gary Rogers' car. That's what I'm thinking of. All right, so yeah. Oh, did we see Barry Ryan? Did I see? Did we see him? Nope. Just enter. Oh, okay, thanks. The young team, Perkins Motorsport. Did I say Courtney's race suit in 07 is not a great looking race suit. It's very, very simple. There's nothing going on up here. Barry Ryan and Scaife chatting about the car. All right. Nice. Yeah, he had heaps of room on his left. And he's giving him a shove in the rear. Yeah. I like nice looking race suits. Change for sponsorship. Yeah, but this like Jim Beam race suits looked pretty great. Like I think even JC's 06 one didn't look that great. Yeah, that was definitely Todd. Yeah, so Scaife he'd be blowing up on the. Depends how often he did it, really. Courtney didn't have any sponsors on there. Yeah. Well, I had Geldwin. They could have put a bit more yellow on it somewhere. You die not having a sponsor on your seat these days. Yeah, I think major sponsors are on the suit and on the car, and if they're a personal one, they're on your helmet. Trying to get the thing straight. Can't they just put the hook on it and pull it in, or is it? It's not gonna turn. Maybe they've got one wheel that actually will turn. Now, Stevie J finishes 23rd. I can't remember where he's. I think he did start 13th, so Stewart. Don't know what happened to him. Some damaged cars. Mechanics got a lot of work to do because the second race. Don't know if they did. I think the last race was a big race, and then maybe they're all the same length. I think the 07 system was actually pretty simple. One race is this many points, two races this many points, three races this many points. So it was a pretty good point system, except for the fact that it only did top 15. They should have just had an Enduro Cup format so that you'd... Yeah, wow. Well, Lowndes is trying to avoid Rick there. All right, when does the racing come back? Oh, it's Sperry Hay, isn't it?
Stone Brothers Racing did not even complete a lap before we've had trouble again. That kind of weekend here happened yesterday. It's happened again today. Todd Kelly, Craig Lowndes, Mark Skate, Rick Kelly, Garth Tander will make up our top 5 when we get a restart.
So Stevie J's well down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, so that must be him. I think so. Is it Stevie or is that... Oh, for God's sakes. The problem when you're trying to look at one car, the camera changes because it's not the leaders anymore. Or maybe there's like a rule in filmmaking or something, the number of seconds you're allowed to have. Number of seconds you're allowed to have something on the screen. A shot on the screen. Yeah, it's Stevie J. Still 17. But it looks like he's just dropping spots. He might have a slow car. He's got the Gary Rogers one right on him. Richo's going to have a go. Steve Johnson was involved. Steve Owen was down there as well in the Autobahn car. One of those cars has certainly hurt James Courtney. There's more trouble at the back of the pack this time. Damien Coulthard with one of the Team BOC entries. Winterbottom was in there. His heart would be in his mouth after what happened yesterday. I remember Fabian had a DNF at Darwin, I think, in 2007. Engineer for Todd Kelly uses the opportunity for the lead position that he has. First opportunity to make the pit stop and make the call. And in he goes. He's got a few mates. So what's that? Scapie and Tander in the lead. That might be critical to telling the story of the race today. That's a big overshoot. Yeah, not that big. It's a little bit off. It's not like a massive one. Maybe a metre. So Rick got Todd. Wow. Todd's not on his game.
There was a bullet as we look at the damage on the front left corner of Fabian's car. There was a clarification bulletin issued about the location of the booms in pit lane, issued to all teams. Murphy's come in, the car was on 6 cylinders. They played around with the plug lead and sitting out. They did not make any other changes in terms of their compulsory pit stop. Because of that, expect them now to go on a long strategy. All right, here's Mark Skate.
Now, is this the one that Lowndes won or the one that Scaife won? Oh. Scaife's let Todd pass. That's getting it. Yeah, he did.
It's a great shot. Looking up that long main straight as they come out of pit lane.
Really tells you how it looks. The corner looks really big there. Oh. Not quite bumping him yet. So I wonder if Tander goes long or... Because everyone's probably just doing a one-stop. Wincup's in. It was not an easy exit for him. He had crew in front of him in the way. I think that's what Matt White just said. Oh. It wasn't the move they were trying to get around Winkup who just came out. Oh, Todd. Oh. He's trying to go forward, but there's a car in the way. Well, maybe they're trying to get past Winkup before his tyres warm up, but it looks like they've probably started to warm up now.
We saw some awesome pit work there. Awesome landing pit stops there. Fastest so far, Jamie Whitcomb, 3.7 seconds. Stephen Richards, 4.8. Tom Kelly, 5.9. Craig Lowndes, 4.7. And Mark Skate, 5.1 seconds. Crazy numbers, aren't they? Just to clarify also, when you see the ticker running through the bottom of screen there, and we're noting stops that drivers have done. Sometimes, for example, as you heard Daniel talking before about Greg Murphy stopping, it doesn't necessarily mean they've done their compulsory pit stop. There is a distinction. Maybe had the plug lead problem, two cylinders not functioning correctly on the car. There was an occurrence of that yesterday. So it's possible that you can see drivers doing multiple stops, even though there's only one that qualifies for the compulsory stop. Lowndes and Rick Kelly.
Oh. So, I think Scapey got a tap from Richo. Tander's in. Doing their stops early. Stevie Day's pitted his 22nd. Supposed to finish 23rd, but we'll see how the pit stops will shake out. Lowndes has got a good gap on Rick. Whoosh. Oh. Oh, that's good.
The pressure across these guys at the moment is amazing. Look how close they've ended up. Dealing with the early laps of the race, each playing their own strategy game and finding tooth and nail track position on the exit. It's track position that's everything with these compulsory pit stops. Sometimes even if you don't necessarily have the fastest car at the racetrack, just being in front of the other guy is enough to give you the game. 7 cars yet to pit. So Steve Owen, Mark Winterbottom, Jason Wright, Russell Eagle, Will Davison, Jason Barguana and Alan Kerr.
Air North must be another way of saying Air New Zealand, maybe. Unless it's like Northern Territory and Queensland. Private airline, maybe. But I suppose a lot of airlines private airline. Top 8 haven't stopped.
Round turn 4. The 7 cars that are battling for this race. This line, Mindscape is 6th. All the pit stops are completed. This will be our race leaders. Look at Stephen Richards tagging on the end there.
Well, if I was some of those guys, I'd run along.
Because they'll run them as long as they can. Some of those key runners that
As long as they're not battling each other. But then if everyone pits at the same time, everyone's battling each other still. See, Steve J's up to 18th. Apparently he finishes 23rd, so something must have happened.
just reducing the grip a little bit at the front of the car, trying to make a much more even spread of load. This is a tantalising prospect. This is what we've not seen in the recent past, where Lowndes has actually got himself in position. It was such a shocker for him in qualifying at Eastern Creek, and then you burn the entire first race trying to get back in the game, and then over the second race, and then finally he was competitive in the third race.
Was he? Garth Tander, Eastern Creek. What happened there? Just spent the whole weekend battling, apparently.
Now the game is tie condition. 28 laps to go for Craig Lowndes.
Stalled off the start. What, Stephen Johnson stalled off the start? Yeah, but he's still supposed to end up 23rd, so he must have dropped spots. Oh, Tander at Eastern Creek. Okay. Yeah, Tander.
Now he finds himself with a huge battle on his hands. Massive lock, steering lock required at turn 5 in the hairpin up in the valley. Over 65 kilometres an hour there. Finds himself in the slightly hot, disturbed air. The preceding car, which is his teammate.
Beat Home Loans. Never heard of him. I like Grant Denyer. He's great. As a commentator, anyway, pit lane reporter.
yesterday from the Gary Rogers boys, notably teammate to this man, Lee Holdsworth. The Canto ran very well, running up inside the top 10 with a ninth. Of course, he got a bonus after they outed Will Davison.
Still crazy that Lee Holdsworth was the second driver and driving the VZ and doing a better job than Canto and the VE. Oh. Same thing sort of happened with Bargs when Tander was beating him in the VT or in the VS versus the VT that Bargs was in 99.
They've got the new VE model coming for Lee Holdsworth. Job's still not done because of the delays to rebuild their cars. The damage that he sustained at Winton was huge. Jack Perkins, remember his teammate was out at the end of turn 1, lap 1. So that leaves Mark Winterbottom in control of the motor race from Steve Owen and Jason Bright. Very despondent Jason Bright, given the great speed that he showed here over the years. And even early in the weekend,
Not really any changes there.
At least Brad Jones Racing chassis with his running gear in it. He was on for a decent weekend. He's the leader. Winterbottom over Steve Owen. Not a big margin at the moment, just 1.1 seconds.
So top 6 haven't pitted now. Unless Perkins still hasn't pitted or something. I think he has. Yeah, they were just talking about him.
They know that luck will turn their way at some point, but when you're buried in the field, very difficult.
15th.
Soldiering on. This gives us a great indication of what this racetrack is all about. This is the exit of turn 4. That's where the trouble happened yesterday. Launching up into the left-hand head into the valley, 65 kilometres an hour. Building now on the exit. This is where Lowndes went by on the right-hand side yesterday on Todd Kelly. Little touch of the brake pedal in turn 6. Bit of oversteer, which is typical of that bit of the track. 4th gear through 7. Surface change and a big bump, and another surface change here at 8, where James Courtney rolled on Friday. Turns 9, and then the left-hand at 10 brings you on to the front straight very early. Picking up on the throttle work from up around bottom.
I wonder if it has something to do with gear ratios or something. I think they're all the same though. Hard to tell though, you have to be really paying attention. He reckons that Winterbottom was so early on the throttle.
So he leads the motor race. There's second and third. That's Jason Bright in the Jiu-Jitsu entry. And then further behind is Will Davison, who's accepted reluctantly the job of Black Hat this weekend. Steve Owen, the Autobahn Racing entry. Car number 55. Started this race in 13th position. Qualifying 21st. Jason Bright.
Gee, that Alight sponsor they've got on Bright's car. They've just slapped a sticker on it. They haven't even done anything to make the livery look good. Oh no. Ew. He's right there ready to go.
Right. Down in 23rd and 24th. Get the word coming from Russell's cockpit. These that it's dropped not 1 cylinder to 2 at the moment. Just talking to Ross Stone. It's certainly a rough old day because they've just put play to James's third race as well. It's just something that they're not going to be able to repair. That's definite. Stone celebrating 10 years on track a couple of weeks ago. 10 successful years in the business with the Bathurst victory, championship wins. Former man Marcus Ambrose continues to do very well in NASCAR racing in North America at the moment. But wow, what a weekend for those fellas. Go away, so that there is a margin of time now. We watch Cam Cromwell on the exit of turn 1 before go to Queensland Raceway for the next event. They'll need every minute of that to consolidate. So listen to Cam at work here up in the valley.
Flying.
Jamie Whincup on his tail, then the two HRT cars. Todd Kelly, Mark Skate.
It's interesting. Lowndes was still doing a good job, but he wasn't out qualifying Whincup most of the time. So it's just like he just wasn't the best anymore. He was still doing a good job getting lots of top tens, but he was still doing that forever. Whoop, all right. Just cut there. Might got hit by a V8 supercar. Yeah.
Jamie Whincup, Todd Kelly, and Mark Skate were on board right now with Mark. Second on the list, but he's got problems to see a replay coming down the main straight.
Well, of course, his window. Something else fell off too, probably the window seal.
Russell Eagle, thankfully the weather up here in Darwin's good because that's about the only thing that's going well here this weekend. I tell you what, the sun's shining, but not on me at the moment, I can tell you. We have a bit of an engine failure. He just started to miss on those last couple of laps. Real shame because we were going to run really long while we were going to be the last car to stop. So we had a good strategy. We had good tyres, obviously, because we got 3 brand new sets. Well, unfortunately, because of yesterday's accident. And we were in good shape, you know. We were picking up spots, we were halfway there. And I reckon might have surprised a bit. Very good place. Well, the mark of the champion is how you rise from these bad times. How are the spirits in this garage? Because it's been a wobbly few days. Well, yeah, we jumped going upside down on Friday. Mike yesterday jumps in the fence today. I'll tell you one thing, we're running out of panels pretty fast. Still got their patience. Davis in control of the race. Here he is. In the booth there as we were talking to Russell. Mark Skate sneaking by Todd Kelly.
Missed his stop a bit. Well, this current list is not going to be accurate then. Frosty's just pitted, so we're not going to know what position Stephen Johnson's in. It says he's 13th, so he'd be further up from 13th, so...
Reconstruct a salvage operation on the weekend. This weekend in terms of points. This down in race 1 after qualifying 7. The gap fluctuates between Lowndes and Kelly, 3rd and 4th. 13.6 seconds is the margin. Will Davis and Alan Gurd. And it takes about 35 seconds to come in, process, you stop and get out again. Always Joseph right in the pits once again. Misfire from that team. That's it loose. Rick Kelly follows. So Davison and Gurd, the only 2 drivers yet to pit.
Must have had pretty good tyres in 2007 to just do most of the race on one set. 2014, I think they were really bad tyres, but I think it was like 39 laps or something in 2014 at Darwin. And yeah, because it sort of changes a little bit year on year.
So their analysis of what they require before they get to the track seems to have been very strong. And they made early season gains on everybody. Looking at lap speed of the lead cars at the moment, and it's just absolutely nothing there. Well, here's Jason Richards against Stephen Richards down at turn one. He actually ran over that little bit of rubber strip down there. Jason has a look up the inside. Stephen running a little wide. That was his issue yesterday. And we heard him on the radio earlier calling really supporting the car.
It's rubbing guard as well. There's a bit of smoke coming out of Stephen Richards' cars.
There's room left by Stephen. It's not enough for Jay Richards to get the job done. Stephen making his 132nd championship start this weekend. Puts him above another Jay Richards that have checked. There's an issue somewhere around the racetrack at the moment because I think that they may deploy the safety car for the debris down at turn one. We've gone full course yellow.
Oh, here we go. See, full course yellow.
After seeing a car hit it,
The window seal has been squashed that many times.
rectification, so the whole course has been brought under the control of the yellow flag. So Lowndes couldn't shake Rick Kelly off the
Oh, yeah.
That was the incident. Blowout.
Yeah, he was definitely out of Bright's car. Out of his driver's side window.
Touching it, but then it was highlighted by that move. That look from Jason Richards against Stephen Richards. It means Will Davison, the only one who hasn't hit it, when the safety
He gets a lucky pit stop.
will compress, Craig Lowndes will have Rick Kelly, Garth Tander, Jamie Winker, Mark Scape and Co to deal with.
Not quite on the marks. Oh no! Didn't go. Still got no answer. No idea. Scott's probably might be asking why was he in the air. Shelby Bow Racing. Yeah, so he's coming over. He didn't quite land right on the marks. Yeah, he's staying there. Bloody hell. That's shocking. Murph.
Safety car, so Lowndes leads the way. The field's compressed. What does this all mean? Means that we've got ourselves a pretty good stash at the front. Lowndes, Rick Kelly, Garth Tander, Jamie Whitcup, Mark Skate, Todd Kelly, Stephen Richards, Jason Richards in there. Wide goes Barguana.
Didn't see where Stevie J's right in there. Behind Frosty. He must have had a. He must have been a DNF, but he said 23rd. Maybe finished 75% of the race. Didn't count as DNF.
That was Murphy that came in, obviously, when we saw the Tasman Motorsport Air North entry peel off the head of the
Yep, not happy.
He's in position 8. Not a great weekend for Murph. Lowndes just holding his gap.
I think, yeah,
Across the line.
from 25th down, the cars are stopped or garaged or a lap down.
From lap 29 of 42.
Oh.
Mistake there from Lowndes. Doesn't take much to lose your advantage. He dropped the right rear off on the exit of 1. That'll give Rick Kelly plenty of incentive. Greg Murphy bad, he was frustrated. You know, it's bad enough that you're nearly already down a lap, and then they just go and make sure you are. So it's, I don't know what goes on up in that town sometimes. They've ruined plenty of races before, and, you know, not that ours really mattered, I suppose. There's no point in continuing when they put you down a lap. So, just to clarify that, the safety car, you believe, picked up the wrong car? Well, I don't know if they were watching the TV, but I was already well out of it by that stage and made 2 stops. So I don't know why I'd be picked up. I mean, it's ludicrous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's clearly obvious to everybody at this place. Obviously not obvious to the people that make the decisions.
Not happy.
Because we've been focusing so much on the leaders, but Greg feels pretty strongly about it, and more damage here. Someone's left bits and pieces on the road down there.
Hop over the fence, fatty. You might not be allowed to. Gotta wait for the cars to go past.
Weirdness about this one. So Craig Lowndes, Rick Kelly, Garth Tander, Jamie Whitcup, and then we find Mark Skate in 5th position. Winner of our last round at Eastern Creek, emotional victory. Winner of 2 rounds here. He shares that honour for the most wins with his teammate Todd Kelly and former champion Marcus Ambrose. Up of the race so far, Garth Tander a 1:10.5. It's the same speed that we saw yesterday.
Yeah, so 25th is lap down, but everyone else after that is garage. So there must have been an issue or something. Stevie J is sitting up top 10. Or is he? I think he's still ahead of Will Davison, who's just put a move on. We might let Will Davison pass, or maybe Will Davo will just pass him. Yeah, of course it is. The one with the damage on it. No, it's Richo. Must have got past Jason Richards then. I think JR's dropped a few spots. Probably the same deal with Will Davis, and then Davo will get past Stevie J, who was one of the first to stop. Well, maybe not one of the first, but he was in with that first wave. Pitched it in the earlier lot rather than the later lot. Frosty's getting close there. Wonder if he's going to be able to get past Todd properly, or if Todd's going to just make it really hard for him. Depends how much faster Frosty is. If Frosty just fires past him, Todd will have nothing he can do. Yeah, he's getting close. He's probably going to put a move on immediately. Yep, here we go. Todd's let him go. It's not like Todd does it for every battle, just for that one. The one with Scafie off the line, Todd was probably trying really hard to hold position. Unfortunately, his teammate was right there. I think plenty of times there's turn 1 incidents at Darwin. Yeah, JR's got past him. So Stevie Davis might be dropping with cars further down the back with fresher tyres. Steve Owen pitted later. Was two, yeah. It's interesting they're still running Andrew Jones if he's a lap down. I think it's just that Murph got put another lap down. It's just like, what's the point of running? Because the safety car picked him up and they shouldn't have done that. Should have been able to go back around.
So he's going to buy into this in a big way, and he'll scatter this pack on current form. Extraordinary move through the field. Leave line the two team motivated Triple Eight cars again. Kelly and Yard Tander. When you race where JD Whitcomb's racing at the moment, it's very difficult because you've got your own car to manage. You need to keep one eye out for the car in front, one eye out for the car behind. All the time your brake temperatures elevate, your water temperature elevates, your car gets harder to drive. It's hard to find your braking markers. Not to mention that, he has to think about the one behind him.
Well, Frosty's on fresher tyres, so he'd probably be able to get past Scaife. Oh, Scaife's putting him. Oh, having a look.
in race 2, 1.2 seconds he has over Rick Kelly. And Mark Winterbottom is 6th and moving.
Frosty should have the pace. Should be able to put a move on. Come on.
These three pushing and shoving each other could be another benefit for the Orcon Ford Credit FPR car of Mark Winterbottom. Look how hungry he is, buddy. Just talking to the team, the spirits are certainly lifted up yesterday. Of course, the contact with Will Davis, and this is the speed that they had yesterday, but just weren't able to show it. Why is he so fast and looking so racy now? Of course, he did stay out so late. He's got tyres that are almost 20 laps fresher than everybody else's, and he's going to push forward.
Yeah, well, he's not seeming to be able to get much of an exit out of that last corner.
Seeing is the best from the Ford teams. They still had a difficult weekend this weekend by comparison to the Tol HSV and the whole racing team cars. But now with track position allowed, we're seeing that there's such a tiny margin between these cars, it's almost impossible to measure. And a tremendous recovery from Winterbottom. And with a little bit of rubber on his side, he's right in this mix.
It's just going to be sitting there not getting position. Maybe Frosty's not that good at passing people. It's a pretty decent exit. No. No. He's not getting the corner exits right. So something must have happened to Stevie J because it's lap 38. Well, Stevie J's got back past Jason Richards, it looks like. Very good, Dickie. Well, you get a bit more grip if he wasn't in the grass. Yeah, when you put the move on, don't go into him, go past him. Frosty's being sort of held up. He's just not getting the exits right. So now he's actually, Will Davison's caught up to him. Because he had the clear air. Now there's Rihanna. I missed a phone call. Well, race is almost done, and then I'll finish the stream. But what on earth happened to Stevie J? It says he came 23rd. He's there.
So tight. Push and shove for Wing Cup against Tander.
But Scafe's right up against Wing Cup. 10th for Johnson. Davison just got lucky with the safety car.
HSV cars on the podium, and Jamie Winkup's trying to make it, strike that and make it 2 Triple A cars.
Something's gonna happen.
Patiently as Mark Skate. There he is. So tight, isn't it? You see Mark just trying to find a way by, turning in a bit earlier, fell a little higher at the mid corner. They're all trying everything. They're absolutely grip limited at the moment. There's nothing left in these cars on the brakes in the middle of the corner. On the throttle on exit, they're maxed out.
The cars with the better tyres aren't able to get past though. So it really doesn't make a huge benefit. Apart from picking up those spots, get up to the front runners here, can't pass them. He's dropping away from Scafey, probably because of being in the train. Car's overheating, brakes are overheating, you can't outbrake anyone. And he's not really getting the exits right. So 23rd didn't happen. So the Wikipedia page, I think, is just a little bit not accurate properly. And even sometimes the stats thing I use isn't even accurate. So you got to go to NatSoft or something to actually find the proper information. Because what I've got is just like a collection website. It tells you all the results and what happened. Or it just tells you the results and how many laps and things like that. It's just a stats website. Whereas NatSoft is literally, this is just what was recorded.
He's going to finish this race on 41 points for the round. With one more race still to come this afternoon.
Is that it?
It's been a good performance. All of those in the top 10, right across the field. Those at the back who pushed through. Courtesy of good strength.
Or on the last lap, did Stevie J's car die? It's still there, see? So it's a freaking... in one play. Alright, well, that's the end of the stream. I gotta ring someone back. Gone for a good couple of hours, so just enjoying some old racing, talking about stuff. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys next weekend. Bye bye.